Do you want to start a business, get out of the office, achieve happiness and success while crushing life? This is Boss to Boss, the place to be for that extra motivation to get up and follow your dreams while learning from the ones who have already done it. And now for your host, Miro Wieslow.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Boss to Boss. Today's guest is truly more passionate about leadership development today than he has been in his 25 years of leading organizations. He's led a college campus in Washington, D.C., a medical foundation in Silicon Valley, and an international nonprofit with hospitals and schools around the world. John Maxwell recruited Rob to lead Equip Leadership, the largest leadership development organization in the world. Rob says, I'm going to spend the rest of my life doing what I love, and that's investing in growing leaders because that is what I was made to do. To that end, he launched Leadertribe.com, and 3 months ago, he launched his short daily podcast, which is Leadertribe, your daily dose of growth. Dr. Rob has earned a master's degree and a PhD in organizational leadership, both summa cum laude. His doctoral dissertation has breakthrough research in executive coaching. He loves to work with senior leadership teams and with those who will commit to excellence and over-delivering on results. His leadership specialty is bringing extreme clarity to the kind of vision that destroys fear and motivates star performance. Rob has been married to Dawn for more than 30 years. He has one daughter, Kaylee, and 3 remarkable grandchildren, Parker, Victoria, and Lucas. He believes that God has blessed him, and he also believes that he is the luckiest man in the world. Dr. Rob McCleland, that's a mouthful. How you doing?
Yeah, what is up? Great to talk to you, Miro. Appreciate that. Yeah, every time I hear that intro, I go like, it sounds like that dude can't hold down a job, you know, but I have had some cool opportunities, but this is a really great one. Super glad to be with you today.
Oh, I'm so glad we got to connect. I met you through a good friend, mutual friend, Travis Chappell, a while back on a call. And here we are, about half a year later, at least, talking, connecting.
Yep, love it.
This is great. So obviously the resume's there, but you want to tell the listeners something else, something maybe they don't know?
Yeah, I think I meet all these people who do PhD and research, and they're these brainiacs, but they just don't have people skills. And so I decided I've got a good brain. I love studying. I love doing research. I'll go ahead and do the PhD. But I decided to stay my own crazy, goofy, put the cookies on the lower shelf. Let's have a lot of fun with this person. Mm-hmm. I really didn't know if that was going to be accepted in the academy, out there. But what I found out is if your research is good enough, they don't care what your personality is. And so I have just loved it. I still do research every single day. It's just part of who I am. But I'm always looking up for something that's really super practical application that I can help not only my listeners with, but then the people I work with as well. So life is good, man.
Yeah, I would think you do research every day. I mean, the amount of content that you put out, and for those that don't know, the Leadertribe, the podcast I was talking about, you have so many episodes already. You have so much valuable content out there to keep up with that. I mean, one would think you've been doing this for forever, right?
Actually, you know what? It was our mutual friend Travis Chappell who kicked my butt and said, "Do it. Go ahead and do it." Mm-hmm. And I just do a 7 to 10 minute podcast, so it's try to get one thing every day, but every single bit of it. I had the coolest bumper music ever. I don't know if you heard my bumper music. I said, dude, I'm old school. I need a little wiki, wiki, wiki. So I have this really fun, and it says, it's relevant, it's researched, and it's ready for action. So my big deal is this isn't anecdotal. This isn't my opinion. This is somewhere from the research, but I want to present the research in a way that sounds all kinds of crazy fun.
I love it. I love it. So back before you did everything you've done, to this day, and started up your own businesses, numerous, and there was a moment though that you were bossed around. You were sitting there behind that cubicle and just kind of taking orders all day, but eventually you found your calling. So there had to be that turning point, when you just said enough is enough. Mm-hmm. Do you recall? I would think you would recall pretty pretty, in detail. Do you recall that moment and what happened? Kind of.
I do. It wasn't as much of a dramatic change for me as for some, in that the last 2 or 3 companies I had got to sit in the big chair. And so you do have a lot more freedom there than if you're downstream a little bit. However, it's when I was working with John Maxwell. I mean, what a guy, right? He's an awesome man, great organizations. I think he has 6 companies. I had the privilege of working in 2 of them, Equip Leadership, and then helped him launch the John Maxwell Leadership Foundation. But my boss, when I was working for John, is his CEO, a guy named Mark Cole. And Mark's a hero. Totally love the dude. And in the midst of where that company was going, and I helped them do this huge project where we reached every nation of the world. It had never been done before. It was a great project. We came to the conclusion of that and kind of going, what's next? And some of the things that I sort of wanted to do in life, they're like, that sounds great, but that's not us. And so Mark and I had just this great heart-to-heart conversation. And he said, okay, tell me about your dream for Leadertribe. What are you thinking there? And then he is the one who gave me the kick in the pants. He goes, Rob, why don't you go do it? We'll give you your first gift. And so they gave me a big chunk of an awesome gift and just said, go do it. Well, now all of a sudden I'm at the place where I have no excuses. And so I just have to go do it. And I still figured out ways to not jump in with both feet, because I think part of it was scared. Part of it was that financially I didn't have to have the money right away. And so as a result, I did a little more procrastinating than I needed to. And so you'll hear that theme a lot in my podcast. It's like, here's how to get over that. Here's what the research says, because I had to learn it and apply it to myself.
So did you know, though, kind of what you wanted to do? Because you always kind of stuck in the same realm, right? You did a ton of research and you still continue to this day. Did you know it was going to be, Leadertribe? Did you know it was going to be in this area?
Yeah, I knew it was going to. So with John Maxwell, his material is so good. And he's such a prolific writer. He's written 100 books. And I love his books. They're great. They're easy reads, and they're stuff that you can apply immediately. And so no wonder he sold so many copies. He deserves all the success he's had. At the same time, I thought there is a younger generation that they're not going to go pick up a big book and read it. They're mainly going to be reached via podcast, video, otherwise. But they don't even know where to go. And they're thinking, yeah, I'd like to become a leader, but just put in the word leadership in Google. There's a million opportunities. Who can you actually trust that's out there? And then who, even if you can trust them, is going to make it fun and make it so that you can understand why you have to take sequential steps in your life. And so I knew that there was some space there. But in my heart of hearts, I also wanted to start a nonprofit and say there's about 40% of the world that's never going to read above a 3rd grade level. They're not going to buy anybody's book on leadership. How are they going to learn leadership? And as of today, check this out, Miro. As of today, there are almost twice as many, not quite, but almost twice as many cell phones in the world as there are toothbrushes. 99% of the world's population lives within range of a cell tower now. And so you can go into a village in Africa, spend a day there with the chief, work on some stuff, have fun. You're leaving the village and they're like, hey, Rob, yeah, are you on Facebook? And you're like, what are you talking about?
What?
Mind blown, right? Yeah,
What?
It's just crazy. And so you go into all these villages around the world and they all have phones. And they're not smartphones, they're their old feature phones. But I thought the way that population is going to learn leadership or how to expand their learner or just to become the person they always wanted to become, because we all have these barriers in our life that we keep getting stuck in and get in a rut. The only way they're going to overcome that is if somebody teaches them leadership one thumb at a time, just one little scroll at a time. And you can't monetize that. So I put together a little nonprofit and I put the word out to 5 of my friends. They all gave money and we're off and running.
Oh, wow. I mean, that's amazing. I didn't even know that fact. That's mind blowing. The toothbrushes.
Yeah, you know what?
I
I think this is the first time I've talked about it publicly on a podcast. I don't think I even did that with Travis's. So there you go.
So there you go, listeners. It's a Boss to Boss exclusive right here.
That's right. World premiere, baby.
Yes, from Dr. Rob himself. Oh, man, this is great. So, wow. Did you strictly because I know nowadays there are ways to, monetize it, I guess. Did you Is it just a route you didn't want to go? Like you strictly, you were like, I want to do this not for profit. Like this is the best way.
Yeah, specifically, if I'm going to reach little kids that are in the mountainous regions of South America, and I shouldn't say little kids, my target audience, my avatar is what you'd call it, is really somebody 15 to 25 years old. They just realized that they want to get better as a person. They kind of have that overcoming mentality. I'm guessing every one of your guests have that. There's no such thing as an entrepreneur who's not just like this overcomer. They want to over deliver. They're motivated. It's almost like if somebody will just give me a chance. And I find the people who say, will somebody just give me a chance? About 60% of them, when you give them that chance, they excel. All they needed was a chance. The other 40%, all of a sudden, they're like, this is really hard work. And they thought a chance was a hand down rather than a hand up. And so they're not willing to put in the hard work. But for those 60%, I'll spend the rest of my life working with those anytime.
Wow, that's truly inspirational, motivational. I mean, you name it,
I've got businesses and other things that pay me and my family very well, but the nonprofit, that's all going to be reaching those people who I will never try to monetize that. That's all I'm giving away my best stuff for free.
So you think that having that experience behind you and having some sort of cushion made this going for something more passionate? It seems like this, made it easier, probably, right?
Yeah, I think it probably did. I think more so, if I was just being honest, I've got great friends. I mean, I so believe in adding value to people and adding value and networking that I've just made some unbelievable friends over my lifetime that are people, if they picked up the phone and said, hey, Rob, I need you, I'm on my way to the airport. I mean, I'll do anything for them. And I know they'd do that the same way with me, just become really good friends. For example, you and I have been going back and forth for a couple of weeks. And every time we do, we're knocking ourselves out trying to help the other person. The only problem was I was traveling internationally and so trying to get our schedules together. But if Travis says that you're a good guy and worthwhile, I trust Travis with my life. And so now, and I teach this, Miro, what's really amazing. So someone like you, once I trust you, I'll open up my entire network to you. And you'll say, do you know anyone in Kuala Lumpur? And I'll say, yeah, I sure do. And what are you thinking? Who do you need to get to? And let's figure this out and make sure I get you the right person. If people trust you, they'll give you a name and a phone number or a name and an email. If they don't trust you, they'll say, hey, let me think about that for a couple of days. 2 days later, they'll get back to you and it will say, hey, I found some of these great links. You might try to check some of these, and they'll send you Google links. And so if people trust you, you get a name and an email or a phone number. If they don't trust you, you get a Google link. And I want to be one of those people who people trust, but you have to be trustworthy and you have to be over-delivering all the time, and that's a great life.
So you would definitely under-promise and then over-deliver, right?
100% of the time. Yeah, if I can't over-deliver, I think I would feel a sense of shame, actually, if I couldn't, because what fun is life if you can't over-deliver? Now, what I might do if I thought I couldn't is I'd tell somebody, my goal in life is to over-deliver. In this instance, I don't think I'll be able to. I'll only meet your expectations. And so can we hold off on this? Because I really want to be at the place. But if they go, you know what? No, I just need that. Then I'll say, okay, I can go ahead and do that. But I'd really like to wow you in the future sometime.
I'm learning the hard way. Being a first year in business for myself, definitely learning the hard way. Because sometimes you just, want to get the work and you just want to do it. And it definitely will, throw you back on your behind. That's for sure.
Yeah, it sure will.
And then I guess just the whole international aspect of it when you were gone and I was here, that just shows how hard it is to communicate and get your schedules together. It is really crazy. Now that makes me appreciate, working internationally with people so much more now. Going through that, like I only did it once in a while back when I was still am, but back in my CPA days. But man, this was a firsthand experience with you. I like it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. What's funny is we were almost exactly 12 hours apart.
Yeah.
And so it's 7 at night. I'm finally getting back to my room. And it's like, yeah, it's too early to bug him. And then by the time it's 9, where all of a sudden we could talk, I'm off into my meetings or somewhere in the country without a signal. So it was a lot of fun.
It was a nice experience.
Yeah.
I guess there had to be a mistake, though, you made along the way. At some point or another in your life, is there one crucial one that you think has, really, it's one that you had to go through that got you?
I don't know that I had to go through it, but I went through it. And that was I overestimated my own my ability to get things done without a team. I am a people person. I'm outgoing. I love nothing more than getting a great team around me and then helping them succeed. And I love team wins. At one time I was an athlete, and I won some stuff in golf, individual sport, and then I won things in baseball and football. There's no comparison to me. I mean, in baseball, you win the championship, you're slobbering on each other, dogpiling, high-fiving. In golf, you win a tournament, and you're like, woo, and that's it. You go home. And I just love team wins. And so when I launched into this, I had to get going, but there weren't other people around me that I could build a team with and rally and support. I just had to get in and put my nose to the grindstone and get the work done myself. And it wasn't really until I hired somebody else to go into it with me and keep me accountable, which was a virtual assistant in the Philippines. But every day now I had somebody at least that we could be working together, and the things I didn't want to do, I could hive off to her. But I knew I'd have a call every morning at 7 a.m. saying, okay, did you get your stuff done?
So what would you say to someone that's trying to start up a company, who's fresh right now, and they want to do it all alone? Nobody else, just strictly so they could say that it was just me. If they have that personality type and they can maintain that kind of drive, then I'd say good for them. Go for it. I can't. I love people too much. And truly, the greatest thing in my life is being able to add value to others. And when I was sitting there on my own thinking, okay, how am I going to figure out what actually works or doesn't work? Well, I thought, I need to get a group of people together. My answer every time was grabbing some friends, getting some people together and working on it together. And for example, even my friends in the Philippines, I've thought of 2 or 3 other companies I can help them launch. And I always tell them, hey, we'll do the 60-40. I'll own 60% of the company. You'll own 40. And I said, but if we like each other and we keep going for a year and things are going well, I'll give you all my profits. Because to them, if they made $1,000, that's life-changing. I mean, totally life-changing. And for me, it's like, it's another $1,000 in the bank, but it's not going to change my life at all. Wow, that's amazing. And I think it definitely something that you learn over time as well, right? You would say?
You do. And with those people, see, what the reason I don't want to give them anything up front is I want to know, are they going to work their butt off? If they don't have 3 times as much sweat equity in the still as I do, then sorry. But the ones who are overcomers, man, they can't wait for that opportunity.
That's amazing.
It's sort of a rich dad, poor dad thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to hear how it goes. I know it's going to go awesome, and I'm sure they're so grateful for that opportunity. That's for sure. So let's just say there's someone now, our listeners, they're where I was. Someone could be, someone isn't, but someone could be, and they could be sitting there in their cubicle like I was a year ago and kind of contemplating life. Do I make that leap? Do I jump in? Do I jump in? Do I become an entrepreneur? As they say. Would you tell them? And they're just not sure because they don't know how hard it is. Would you tell them some word of advice?
Yeah, I sure would. I'd say, why do you want to do this? And if the next phrase I heard out of their mouth had some passion in it, I'd say they're probably going to make it. And if it's because my boss sucks and I don't want, it's like, that's not going to be good enough. But if you got something on your heart, I would really like to make a go of it. I want to risk it all, but I want big rewards too. I want to swing for the fence. I want to do something with my life that matters and helps other people. As soon as I hear stuff like that, I'm like, okay, how can I help this person?
That's awesome. That's a great answer. And I hope the listeners appreciate that answer straight from Dr. Rob McCleland. And where could we find more about you? Because I know you got Leadertribe.com. Yeah, Leadertribe.com is the best way. I've now relaunched the blog, actually for about 3 more weeks.
I did the blog for a year and a half, never missed, and then I stopped doing it in order to launch the podcast. So I just relaunched the blog, and I have the greatest ever download right now. And it's only up for 1 month, the first month of relaunch, where 4 or 5 of just the best books out there. I have the 10-page executive summary of them all in one download, plus a thing that I use with my consulting clients that I've developed over 30 years, the 6 best questions that you can ask to get clarity at work. And these are when you're working with someone else, and I did it with my team in the Philippines last week. Because I say, our company, my new company that I just launched, we only have 3 core values. One of them is integrity, meaning if we tell you we're going to show up somewhere and we don't show up, when they find our body, it will be pointed in that direction. But we are not going to lie to people. We're going to make it happen, baby. Yeah. So integrity. The second one that I'm really into is clarity. Because, okay, now they're in the Philippines. They're supposed to be doing work. And they're like, yeah, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm not quite sure. And I don't want to ask my boss because then he'll think, are you stupid? You know, what's the deal? I told you what to do. And so then they just kind of fake it, but they're not motivated to do their best work. And I said, that drives me crazy because I've been there so many times in my life. And so I say, you have to, if you don't have 100% clarity at any given time, that's your fault. And you'll ask me a question and I'll say, I may or may not know the answer, but we'll figure it out together.
Exactly.
But here's what I tell them. If you ever say, I'm not sure what I should be doing and I need clarity, I said, I'll probably promote you just because you're an awesome person for saying that. And so clarity is the other one. The third one is fun. If we're not having fun, we shouldn't be doing this. And so those are our only 3 core values. I figure if we nail it on those 3, the rest of it will take care of itself. And so that clarity thing that I've done, that's all part of that download. So that's at leadertribe.com. And then if they want to reach out to me directly, it's just rob@leadertribe.com. So I'm super accessible. And at least at this stage, I still return every email personally. That's important to me. You know, on Facebook, I had 356 people say happy birthday. I returned something to every one of them individually.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah. So that's who I want to be, and I'll keep doing that as long as I can.
Yeah, and I can definitely attest to that. I definitely, dealt directly with you, and for all the listeners out there, definitely check that out at leadertribe.com. The content is amazing. I do have some of your content. I was able to get it, last time when I first met you, and I've read it a few times, especially the interview question examples, and those are amazing. They really make you think and look at things in a different perspective, especially from a leader's point of view. So that's huge. I would highly recommend all of you go and check it out and get this free content while it's there. You won't be disappointed.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And now on to our favorite segment of the show.
Welcome to the round with no name, because they're all taken.
The lightning round!
Yes, we made it.
Like cool music that you play?
Oh, of course. Okay. Of course, it's overplaying right now, but we can't hear it.
That's all right.
So, you're going to have 5 seconds to think of an answer. We don't want you to think too much. We just want you to kind of just go with it. Just go with it and run with it. Otherwise, my producer, they call him Tony the Leg Breaker.
Okay, I like it. Don't want to hack off Tony.
Yes, he comes out. We don't want to know what happens, so let's just not deal with it. So let's just spit out what we can and go from there. Without further ado, your favorite book.
Favorite book is called The Truth About Leadership.
You're stranded on an island. What is the one item you want with you?
If I could have a solar-powered charger, then like a Kindle or something to read books. If I can't, it'd probably be my Bible.
Good answer. Who is or has been your greatest mentor?
A guy named Fred Broling. I went to him 30 years ago, and I said, hey, Fred, I've never had a dad, and you don't need another son, but if there were times in life when I would call my dad, could I call you? And he said, yeah. And from that day on, he started acting like my dad. So I've had a dad in my life for 30 years. He's a great businessman and a great mentor.
Wow, that's inspiring. Is entrepreneurism a fad?
It's absolutely a fad, and it's a fad that's going to last forever. What do you think about that? Because as long as people in their hearts want something better, then the ones who have enough guts are going to take the risk and make it happen.
Way to play on the words. Wow.
Thank you.
That is a boss to boss exclusive.
That's what
for
boss
sure.
to boss.
Exclusive right there, everybody. That is a first answer like that. Wow. All right. You just defeated me. No.
No. I'm doing nothing but building you up, and we're getting great together.
Yes. How do you drink your coffee?
I actually have it with just a dusting of sweetener to take away the bitterness because I like it so stinking strong.
Perfect. That's how I love it too. Is there a specific brand or something, one that you need?
Costco is my happy place.
Okay.
And Costco has a brand of coffee that says it's Costco coffee, but if you look closely, it says that it's all done by Starbucks. And so it's really Starbucks coffee, but without the Starbucks price.
All right. Well, then here's another tip for y'all, and you didn't even expect. Look at that.
There you go.
Look at that. Would you ever wear white socks with black shoes?
If I was paid to, or if somebody dared me to, then I would so bring it. I took a dare not that long ago, dancing crazy in the streets of Atlanta in front of the Fox Theater downtown, just because people didn't believe I would do it. And so one of the things I say is, if it can make a client more successful or make somebody else happy, I have no embarrassment gene. I'll just go for it.
Is this video out in public?
It's not in public, but it has been shown, and I will send you a copy. But here's what I'll say. You can put it up the day of the podcast, keep it up a week, and all you listeners, I beg you not to copy it and send it to someone else, because I don't want it on Facebook. But when you see it, you'll be like, stop, because there's this, what they wanted to do is, it was a part of a little marketing thing where it was going to be called Rob Turnup. You never know where he's going to turn up except during these certain hours. And so it is stinking crazy. When you see it, you will die.
Is this real life?
Yeah. Wait till you see it, man. I'll send it to you.
I mean, make sure you think this one through if you really want me to put it up. Let me know.
You know what? Here's what we got to do. All your listeners who say, okay, I want it, and they write you and they say, I want to see that video, then you can send them the link. And then I'm just asking them, please don't put it on Facebook. But if it gets out there, if that's the worst part of my life, I've got a great life. So.
All right. You heard that here, everybody. You heard it here. Exclusive. Keep this recording.
You know what? I've got more exclusive. I don't know what's happening, man. You're just bringing it out of me. All the first time ever heard stuff is coming out.
That's what I do. I love it.
Yeah, you do it well, man.
If there's one item that you need with you every day, maybe it's some kind of clothing, some accessory, a food, a drink, what is it and what do you need that it makes you?
Yeah, I'm a huge foodie, but I would say if I don't have coffee in the morning, and to me it's just the idea of coffee. We moved from California to Georgia, to Atlanta, Georgia. You have no idea how far California money goes in Georgia. So we had the privilege of building our dream home here. Included on it is a back deck, and it's a covered deck. It's awesome. I go out there in my scantily clad every morning at about 5:30 in the morning with a cup of coffee and just sit on my deck and just make sure I'm centered and I'm ready to add value and be the best I can on that day. And if I don't have that, I would really be missing something.
Do you think, off topic though, do you think waking up early like that every day and having that set routine helps?
I cannot tell you how much. If one thing that you can do to improve your life, specifically if you're moving into that entrepreneurial space, is get a great morning routine. A lot of people say, but I'm not a morning person. But a lot of people, I know they want to become one. And now the research shows that you can. It's not my research. You can go to michaelhyatt.com and just type in becoming a morning person. And michaelhyatt.com, I think he's the best blogger on the internet. I use his full focus planner. He's one of the heroes out there. He's doing it right.
Awesome. Everybody, be sure to check that out. michaelhyatt.com. If you had an opportunity to start up a new company right now, right here, what kind would it be? Like any specific industry?
Specific industry. Yeah, it's got to be in the helping people become all that they want to be part. I know that's a little woo-woo for some people. And I don't want to go there because what I do is I demand really specific steps. For example, Harvard Business Review dedicated an entire issue to forgiveness. And I called it When Harvard Dealt with the F Word on one of my blogs. Why would somebody like Harvard talk about forgiveness? Well, because what happens is that they've discovered it's like mental poison if you're holding all this stuff against other people. And so what I want to do is I want to talk to somebody and say, have you forgiven? Oh, yeah, I've forgiven them. I said, great. Did you write them a note? Did you write something down? Maybe they're dead. Did you write something down and then burn it? But tell me the concrete steps that you're taking to make sure you're getting rid of that negative stuff in your life that's invisible but holding you back. And so it's in the woo-woo space, but I make everyone do concrete steps so that they know that they're making progress. And so it would probably be learning some skills. Boy, you know what? I'd have to go probably right off the top with people skills, delegation, learning how to introduce yourself properly. Some of the things that you're going to need to become a great entrepreneur because you can't do it alone.
Awesome. I love it. All right. Well, you're still here. I'm still here. We made it. We survived.
That's right. And you know what? I want to tell everybody out there who you're thinking about making it. Once again, let's go back to that passion. If you have the passion, then I just want to tell you, figure out a way. And so even as you're putting your plan together, you'll get stuck or 2 or 3 places. Man, reach out to Miro or out to Travis or out to me. We're for you. We want to see this happen.
Yes, we do.
And once you've done it and once you're on the other side and you get to be who you were made to be every single day, there's nothing like it in the world.
There isn't. And I just think it's so hard, though, to reach out. You know, I had that too back in the day, but I did reach out and then things started happening. Do you have like a tip for maybe an easier way to do it?
Easier than reaching out? No, there is no. There's 2 quotes I use a lot. One of them is, there's no future in being right if your boss is the one who's wrong. Because what people do is their boss, they know they're wrong, and so they fight them on everything. Well, guess what? Yeah, now you're right and fired. So who cares, you know? And so know which battles to this. And the other thing is, in your life, there is no success when you're doing it on your own, when you're just going it alone by yourself. And the reason is because even though you might have more money in the bank, did you know more millionaires per capita commit suicide than people on welfare? So we know money isn't happiness. Now, it can help bring happiness, but you've got to have that happiness on the inside. So let's get that first and then put the money on top of it.
Oh, man, these quotes are golden. These are golden. We are definitely going to be using these one way or another. So don't worry. Your name will be all over them.
Hey, you know what?
These
I'll tell you what. You have my permission to steal them all, take my name. But if you make money from them, just remember your friends.
Well, you know, if you have any closing thoughts, otherwise, you know, everybody, that's Leadertribe.com. Dr. Rob McCleland, you know, you can't miss him. Check out his podcast. Check out his website, his blog posts. There's just too much valuable content there, especially content that's there for free right now. Like, honestly, there's not too many things out there that are free. You know, this is, and I fully encourage all of you to go and take advantage of it.
Well, I appreciate it. And with that, I will close the same way I close every one of my podcasts, and that's saying, much love, I'm out.
Well, Rob, it's been Dr. Rob, it's been a pleasure. We'll definitely be talking again soon and continuing this thing.
Looking forward to it. Thanks so much.
That is all for this episode of Boss to Boss. Your next step is to visit bosstoboss.com, where you will find proven techniques followed by professionals to help you make that next step. Again, that is boss2boss.com. And remember, the time is now.